Chapter 7. The spiritual leaders and some of the scribes gathered around him when they had come from Jerusalem, and had seen some of his disciples were eating their bread with ritually impure, that is, ceremonially unwashed hands. After all, the spiritual leaders and all the Jewish people do not eat unless first they ceremonially wash their hands, in order to observe the traditions of the elders. Moreover, when they come home from the marketplace, they will not eat unless first they ceremonially immerse themselves in water. In addition, they have received many other rituals to observe, like the washing of cups, jugs, and copper pots. The spiritual leaders and the scribes asked him, "Why do your disciples not walk according to the tradition of the elders, but rather eat their bread with ritually impure hands?" So he told them, "Correctly did Yeshayahu prophesy concerning you pretenders, as it stands written, 'These people honors me with their lips, all the while their hearts are far away from me. So they worship me in vain, teaching human concepts as if they were doctrines of God. Passing over God's commandment, you uphold human traditions.'" He was also telling them, "How convenient! You show little regard for God's commandment in order to show preference for maintaining your own tradition. Because of this, Moshe said, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and the one who speaks evil of father or mother is to be put to death. But you teach, if anyone tells father or mother, 'Whatever support that I have which would have helped you is reserved for Korban,' that is to say, an offering given to God, then you no longer permit that individual to do anything in providing support for father or mother. As a result, you are invalidating the word of God with this tradition of yours." After he called the crowd of people over to him again, he started teaching them, "Listen to me and understand, every one of you. Nothing outside the individual that goes inside causes defilement, but rather what is within a person and comes out, that is what really defiles an individual." When he had left the crowd, "Everyone who has ears to hear must listen." When he had left the crowd of people and went inside the house, his disciples questioned him about the illustration. So he asked them, "How is it that you yourself also fail to understand? Do you not grasp the teaching that whatever goes inside the individual from outside cannot cause defilement, because it does not go into the person's heart, but into the individual's stomach, where it passes through, purifying all foods, and is eliminated into the sewer?" So he was teaching, what is within the person and comes out, this is what really defiles an individual. Because what causes defilement is from within a person and comes out of the human heart: evil thoughts, fornications, thefts, murders, adulteries, wanting what belongs to others, wickedness, use of deception, sensuality, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these actions tainted by wrong come out from within and defile the individual. From there, Yeshua arose and traveled to the region of Zoar. When he had entered a place to stay, he did not want anyone to know where, but in spite of everything, he could not escape notice. So after hearing about him, at once a woman whose little daughter was troubled by an unclean spirit came and fell at his feet. Now the woman was not Jewish, but was of Syro-Phoenician ethnic heritage. Furthermore, she kept asking continually for him to force out the demon. But he kept telling her, "First, let the children eat all they want. It is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." Then she answered and said to him, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs under the table feed on the children's crumbs." With that, He said to her, "Because of this answer, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." After going back to her home, she found the child resting on the bed. The demon had left. Another time, he traveled away from the region of Zor and came upon Zidon to the lake of the Galilee, within the 10 cities district. They brought to him one who did not have the ability to hear and who talked with a speech impediment. They pleaded with him to lay his hand upon him. Yeshua took him aside from the crowd by himself and put his fingers into his ears. After spitting, he touched his tongue and, looking up to heaven with a deep sigh, he said to him, "Hipatak," that is, "be opened." With that, his ears were opened and the impediment of his speech was removed. At once, he started speaking clearly. Even so, he asked them not to tell anyone. Nonetheless, the more he asked them not to tell, the more widely they continued to share the news about what had happened. They were overcome with amazement, saying, "He does everything the right way. Even those who do not have the ability to hear, he causes to hear, and those who do not have the ability to speak, he makes to talk."